This is the 2026 Toyota Tacoma Trailhunter. Is it the perfect mid-size truck? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. If you are looking for a mid-size truck that is beyond capable off-road, this is it. A lot going on here to talk about. We will have our LED projector beam headlights, but you're going to notice that we have the LED light bar right here as well. And I'm going to show you later on how to turn that on, because there is a little bit of a trick to that, not a big deal. And I'll also show you how to turn on the fog lights, and there's two different colors here. So if you want amber or if you want just the regular color like we have there, you can do that. And we're gonna have our bronze Toyota logo right here. Very aggressive look overall with the front end. Obviously this truck is gonna be four-wheel drive, sitting on 18-inch wheels at all four corners, and you have a full-size spare out back. Now we're gonna show you the suspension components real quick, and I'll tell you a little bit about that. These are gonna be the old man forged monotube shocks. And then you're going to have the electronically controlled locking rear differential. A lot going on there, some good things. Multi-terrain select. We're going to have crawl control with downhill ascent. And obviously the front stabilizer disconnect. And we're going to have our front recovery hooks. Now they're hidden under there, but when you look, you can't miss them because they are brightly colored, as you can see. And we'll work our way around. We're going to have our iForce Max badging right here. And the thing that I like about the snorkel right here, this is functional, but I like that it looks integrated into the truck. It looks like it should be here. It does not look aftermarket. So thumbs up to Toyota where that is concerned. I think that's a good thing. We're going to have our heated power adjustable side view mirrors, turn signal indicators built in. Now they are manually folding in this case, but I don't think that's a big deal. Blind spot monitoring is built in there. We'll work our way down. You're going to have your Trailhunter badging right here, and then our steps right here, looking kind of like those old Nerf bars as they used to be called in the past. Going to get the job done as far as that goes. And here is your key fob or remote lock unlock. You've got the button to open and close your power tailgate. You've got your panic button. There's also a mechanical key inside of here that's going to allow you, if you ever need to get into your interior over on the driver's side. So you just insert that into the lock mechanism without the tongue twist, and you're good to go. And you can see right here what our tire size is. And if you aren't familiar with what these numbers mean, it's going to be 265 is the width, the 70 series sidewall, this area right here, and I told you about the 18-inch wheels. And like I said, your spare tire located underneath the bed of the truck is going to be that same size. Good to know. And something else that I really like right here are the lights built into the bed. Now that's not exclusive to this particular trim level, but that's going to be here. We've got all kinds of great things going on where that's concerned. And speaking of lighting, that goes into the bed, as you can see. Typical with your cab light, but I really like the design of what Toyota has done here with these interior lights on the bed. That's going to do a good job of illuminating everything back here. Your Tacoma logo will be stamped into the front, and it comes with the bed liner. That always brings two thumbs up. Under the hood is the 2.4 liter iForce Max. Now this is going to be a hybrid powertrain. It does have a nice load of horsepower, 326 horsepower, 465 pounds-feet of torque, mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60, a respectable 7 seconds, flat and top speed 115 miles per hour. Now I'm going to show you what the window sticker has here as far as the potential MPGs. You're not going to achieve this because you've got those taller tires, and so these numbers are not completely accurate, but we'll give you a little bit of an idea. At 22 city, 24 highway, 23 combined, and 4.3 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. How about your gas tank details? You will have a gas cap instead of capless fuel fill. Which one do you prefer? It's an 18.2 gallon gas tank. And here are your potential numbers. Remember, it's going to be a little different, but this is what I got off of the Toyota website. 400 miles in the city, 437 miles out on the highway. You can definitely say those numbers are likely to be a little bit lower. I'm curious to know, if you owned this truck, what kind of numbers are you achieving? And how about your towing and payload details? 6,000 pounds of towing, 1,475 with your payload. And all you have to do, there's a few different ways you can open the tailgate: button on the interior, button on the tailgate itself, and the button on the remote. Now there's a lot going on here that we didn't talk about earlier in the video. Over there on the right hand side, you've got your 120 volt power outlet. There's a little bit of storage inside of that compartment. We're not going to show you right now by opening the compartment, but it is there. You can see what's going on where that is concerned. But what we are going to show you is what we have right here. Actually quite a bit going on. You've got some different connectivity options. You can actually air up a tire if you need to. You can put your hose on there and take advantage of that. There's actually quite a few things. I don't have the ability to show you with the lights and everything on because it's a little bit bright out here, but you can see what all is here as far as what it tells you as far as what's going on. We've got our connectivity right there as far as the USB goes. A lot of good options here that I think really set this truck apart from many others out there on the road. Now, like I told you, you can open and close this powered tailgate. All you have to do is hold the button down on the remote. You could also just push the button on the tailgate or the button on the interior. Nice, simple little motion. I like that. Let's talk about what your backseat passengers are going to find. We'll start with our door panel right here, and you can see the contrast stitching that's not only here on that area, but several others throughout the interior. Nice, comfortable armrest with plenty of room. You've got your door bin down there where you can put a couple of bottles if you want to do that. And I like that we have the grab handle right up here. That's going to make it easier to get in and out. That should also be with the driver's side door as well, but that's not up there. More contrast stitching here. We've got the orange stitching and the piping that really sets things off. I like the way that looks. That's a good thing. Now let's talk about space back here. If I can get in here real quick, that does make a big difference to have that grab handle right there. No sunroof in this particular case. I know for me that's a good thing because I'm not a big fan of the sunroofs. You will find that you have your window right here that you can open up if you want to. There's also the rear window defogger or defroster. And if you're looking for the tools to change your tire, here is where they are located. That way you know ahead of time. Hopefully you never need that, but it's nice to know they are there. Rear seat pocket only on the passenger side, but you know what? It is here. The only thing missing back here as far as this area goes, no air conditioning vents in an interior of this size. That's not a big deal. We're going to have another 120 volt power outlet and a couple of USB ports in addition to our cup holders on the top of that center console. How about the sticker price here at Yoakum Toyota? This particular truck, $66,832. If you want to buy it, check out the link in the description of the video. Let's see what else we have. We're going to have our upper console up here. You can turn on your lights if you want to, whatever you need to do. There's going to be a lot brighter after dark. And then you've got your SOS and all that kind of stuff. Not a lot going on up here. You do have your sunglass holder, but there is a little bit more to talk about right here because we have our digital rear view mirror. Now, if you want to use that as a conventional rear view mirror, you can do that. And you see what looks like houses right there. There's 3 buttons that correspond to that for your home link. And we'll turn that back on. If you select right here, this button allows you to go through all of your different settings, and then the 2 buttons right here allow you to make changes to those settings. So pretty nice little setup. And over here, if you're wondering what this is, that's the built-in dash cam. Nice to see that you don't have to go and buy one. So Toyota takes care of that for you. As we work our way down, we're going to find a lot of space to talk about as far as little nooks and crannies and things like that. Space above the glove box, our Toyota logo right there, and then I'll let my cameraman open the glove box itself. You can see what's going on there. Conventional size, nothing out of the ordinary. Also our contrast stitching and plenty of space with the armrest, and we have an upper and lower door bin, which is a little bit more than what we had with the rear seating area with those doors. Also the driver and passenger seats, heated and ventilated. That's going to be controlled right here. As you can see, there's our heated seats and our ventilated seats. They're also power adjustable with lumbar support. Everything for your controls for your side view mirrors right there. Lock and unlock. You can lock and unlock the windows right there. And one touch down, one touch up at all 4 windows. That's a very nice thing to have as far as that goes. And then we can see some of our controls right here as far as hitting the button right there to open your gas door. That's going to happen. And then we also have our auto high beams. You can turn traction control on and off. You can see what else we have. There's your button for the tailgate to open and close that. And depending on what you want, a winch, maybe some extra lighting, you've got 4 auxiliary switches. Now, I'm going to show you right here. Here's the controls for our exterior lighting on the truck as far as the bed lighting and all that goes. It's on right now. We can turn that off right there. Now, the one thing to note about the exterior lighting as far as your light bar goes, number one, you're going to have this on. You're going to have the fog light button on and push that forward to where the brights are on. And then we also control everything right here. So if we want to have our fog lights on, which we got to have that pushed back like that, there's your different light colors. That's going to tell you what they are. It's a little bit hard to see. You kind of have to bend down some to see that. And then this control, when I move the lever forward, allows me to turn on the light bar. All right, let's show you those settings. Now, here are the 2 different colors with your fog lights. So you're going to have your standard and then your amber color right there. And now I'm going to push that lever forward. We're going to turn on the light bar just as I showed you right there. You probably can't tell how bright it really is right now, but I guarantee you it's super bright after dark. And here we go back into the interior. Our typical steering wheel mounted controls are going to be here. Depending on what you need to do, you can go through all the different details and information with the arrows right here. If you need to select something such as going into settings, we push OK, which is right there. And then we can use that same lever to work our way back and forth through whatever we need to look at or turn on and off. So some nice looking features as far as that goes. We can hit the back button. That takes us back to the screen. Nice looking, nice modern looking display. It does have the analog gauges and that digital speedometer right there in the center. Everything for your cruise control is over here as far as those features go. And your windshield wipers controlled right here. And everything for your headlights and your fog lights right there. And I showed you how to turn everything on. Remember, you've got to push that forward like that, the way your brights would be on, to take advantage of that light bar. So make sure you're not in a place where you can blind people with that if you do that. Now, we also have a tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel right here. That's going to be a good thing. And we're going to work our way over here. First of all, I want to show you before we look at the screen, there's a first aid kit right down here. We didn't talk about that earlier, but just to give you an idea of some of what's here. Nice features, nice options, nice equipment. And with our touch screen right here, it's actually kind of minimalistic to a degree because you don't have a lot going on here. Obviously, we do have the built-in navigation. You can change what you're listening to, manage your phones and your connections right there. And we go into vehicle right here. Again, not too much, but enough to get the job done. I like that. That way it's not an overload. So it's going to show you all of your different details here. If you want to see history, you can come right here. As far as that goes, trip information will be there as well. And then we come back to vehicle alert. There's not going to be anything here right now. And then you can go in here to settings. So depending on what you need to do, you can come here and take advantage of that. You can see all of your different options here. Sound and media is there, so you can adjust the way the audio sounds. If you want to tune that, I know everybody likes to have it sound a certain way. You can do that. Vehicle customize is going to be here as far as lights go, door control, climate, utility, all of that's going to be here just to show you a little bit of what's going on. But like I say, I don't feel like it's too much. And then I'm going to go in here into our camera view. Now, these are not the only views that we have, but you'll notice that you have one view where you can see all around the truck. Then you've got the hoodless view where everything disappears, makes it even easier to see. We're going to go back here. If you want to pause, you can do that right there, as you can see. Then we'll come back here. Now I'm going to go over here. In this case, the color is correct, but if you want the on-screen truck to match the actual exterior color of your truck, well, you can change that. You may see something else that you like that maybe is different than the actual color of your truck, but just so you can see what's going on, that's how that goes. We're going to go into reverse right here and show you the additional views as far as the camera goes. There's your front view. There's your rear view. Got our side view mirror cameras right there. Got the bed camera. You can take a look at what's going on back there if you need to, and then we can come back and come out of that. I really like what's going on here. Now we're going to come down to our air conditioning controls. Here is your button for your heated steering wheel. Now that's either on or off. There's not multiple stages like there are with your ventilated and heated seats, but you do have your dual zone climate control and your different controls here as far as that goes. We'll work our way down. We're going to have our wireless charging pad. You can see everything that's going on here. We're going to have the connectivity over there on the other side, including the 12 volt and the USB connectivity options. Here's your shifter, pretty easy to deal with. If you want to manually work your way through the 8-speed transmission, you can do that by simply bumping it over to the left like I did right there. Power parking brake. We're going to have brake hold mode, and then right here is the control for being in two-wheel drive, 4 high and 4 low. This truck is rear wheel drive, by the way. And then you've got a few different options here depending on what you need to do. You can either push one of the buttons to go into, say, tow haul mode. Your drive modes will be selected this way. I'm going to show you what goes on the driver's display when I do that, just so you can see. You can see you've got eco, normal, then you have sport. Depending on what I want to do, I can go into the different modes. Now, down here, go in and manage things with the trailering. If you're going to do that, you do have a trailer brake control that's going to be located right up here. Nice to know. And then this is the button that I used right here to turn on the cameras. You can see our other controls that are here as well. The cup holders are going to be here, and the center console lid doubling as an armrest, or we can just go ahead and open that up and see there is a reasonable amount of space within. Here is a sampling of the 10-speaker JBL audio system. You do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. It sounds great in person. I hope it sounds just as good for you in the video. All right, here we go on the test drive. We're going to drive over the railroad tracks. That actually wasn't too bad. The truck soaked that up quite nicely. It does have a little bit of a rigid ride quality, as you would expect, but you know what? It's not too bad. Really no different than any other Tacoma I've done in the past as far as the test drive goes, but I want you to listen to something. Listen carefully. See if you can hear this. Can you hear that air that's coming from that snorkel over there on the passenger side? Don't know if my microphone picks that up as well, but just one of those interesting little things going on here. But overall, this is a fun truck to drive. It gets up and goes quite nicely, especially in sport mode, but even in normal, which I will drop it back to normal and just see what the difference is. Not too bad. For a truck on these taller tires, and with the suspension and everything that it has, it gets down the road quite nicely. Overall, a very enjoyable experience, very capable truck as far as off-roading goes, or if you're that person that's dealing with the snow and the ice, or maybe you live a place like I do here in Northwest Louisiana where we get snow and ice, everything closes down, and there's a lot of people around here who have no idea how to drive in snow and ice. But if you have a truck like this, you will not know the difference. It definitely will get down any road, no problem. On-road, off-road, gonna be just fine. And very user-friendly as far as the technology goes. It's very capable as far as hauling people. Could use a little more space in the back seat. It depends on where these front seats are set, but it does get the job done. You can tow, you can haul, you can do really whatever you need to do. A very well-rounded mid-sized truck. A lot of adjustability built here into the driver's seat, between the driver's seat and the steering wheel. So very useful where that's concerned. Anybody of any height will be able to handle things just fine. I do wish, one thing I do wish was different here, is that there was a grab handle over here on the driver's side to make it a little bit easier to get into the truck, at least for me. Some people who are a little taller may not have any trouble with that, but for me, I think that would be a nice addition. But it's not here. You also don't have an oh crap handle up here to grab onto. You do on the passenger side. and just some little things to consider as far as what's here and what's not. The brake pedal and the gas pedal, very easy to manage. That's always a good thing. Overall, if you are in the market for a mid-size truck and you want to do a little bit more than just the average off-roading, kind of we'll say basic off-roading, this is the truck you need to consider. There it is, the 2026 Toyota Tacoma Trailhunter. Is it the perfect mid-size truck? Tell me what you think down in the comment section, and if you don't think this is the perfect mid-size truck, tell me what you think is. I'm always curious to receive your feedback. I would like to say a special thanks to our friends at Yoakum Toyota for loaning us this truck for the day so we could tell you all about it, and a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. That's very helpful and greatly appreciated. Make sure to subscribe and share this video on your timelines so other people can see it. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out one of the videos that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.